Strongly agree.
Okay, we
have two that are strongly agree, and then one that is somewhat disagreeable. Word.
One disagree, one
Okay, you're not supposed to stand on the line, Goofy. That's like the one thing he said.
strongly agree. You're on the line. Okay. Tell us why you agree.
Oh, wait, oops, I'm dumb. You're supposed to stay on the line. Okay, I'm sorry.
Bomboka!
I agree because trans women should be able to compete in women's sports because they are competing underneath their identity.
They're competing underneath their identity. Do you identify as a trans woman? How would you feel if you were in a sport as an actual woman? If you're an actual woman and you have a man that was born as a woman coming into your sport and dominating you? Be real. Don't allow the indoctrination of the society. Don't allow the programming to make you to think otherwise. Be real with yourself.
That they very solidly align with, and to deprive them of that.
Ready? You ready for me to debunk this in 1 second?
No, you're not.
What do you mean I'm not? How can you tell me I'm not a transgender?
No, you're not.
What? Tell me I'm not a transgender.
No, you're not.
What do you mean I'm not? How can you tell me I'm not a transgender?
No, you're not.
What?
Silence. How can you tell me
I'm not a
transgender?
Exactly.
That's how I identify.
Exactly. He identifies it. You know what I'm saying?
You don't check my junk? Even if you do, maybe I'm a woman with a dick, huh?
Real talk.
Some women can have penises. Bomboka! That's what y'all say.
This is the problem with identifying people in 2022, bro. Right here in front of your eyes. You cannot make this up.
Chat, this is a great point. Next time the men's bathroom is clogged up, next time you see a massive dookie and all the stalls are all stinky, hop into the women's bathroom. I'm transgender. How are you going to tell me I'm not? This is the problem. You don't need meds. You don't need estrogen. This is how easy it is to classify.
Identify yourself.
Look at the face, bro. I love that, bro. How you gonna tell me? How you gonna tell me I'm not trans? Silence.
Don't tell me I'm not a transgender.
Legend.
Is to kind of say that their identity is not acceptable in society.
In society or
like in sports, that they're not valid. Their identity is not validated.
Okay. Do you agree with what she said?
Yes, but that's not specifically why I agree that trans women should be able to compete in sports.
Okay. Why do you think?
I believe trans women should be able to compete in sports because there's specific criterion.
Criterion? Isn't that a movie theater? You mean criteria?
That trans women have to meet in order to be able to compete under the woman category.
In which sports?
This is why I know she's going to be triggered, because she's one of the people that finishes her sentences like this.
What's like this?
When I make a point, and I'm going to do it 4 more times. Ready to hear it? And I haven't seen this video, I promise you. But this is how the bots speak.
I'm not.
Just by her talking like that already, and you pay attention to her demeanor with her arms crossed, you can already tell she has an entitled personality, and you can already tell woke family that she's going to become very triggered by what is being discussed. It's obvious. Like, you cannot make this stuff up.
Not an expert on all sports.
I'm not an expert either.
But I do know for at least the Olympics, there are requirements for trans women because when trans women go on not testosterone. When trans women go on
estrogen
hormones, testosterone drops in them. So a lot of the natural advantages they might have being born in a man's body are depleted, like the extra strength testosterone gives you, and so on and so forth. So they have to be below a certain testosterone level. They have to be on estrogen for a certain amount of time. And even the rule where you have to be below a certain testosterone percentages have.
Okay. What are you saying? Like, what are you talking about? Do you understand that everything that you are saying is literally working against your favor? Let me say that again. Do you understand that everything you are saying right now is literally working against your favor? If you're somebody who participates in sports and you have to compete against a transgender woman, which is a man, you're going to get smoked. You sound literally comical, like you're comical, bro. Woke family. You cannot make this up, bro. Women like her are literally delusional. Like she doesn't even know what she's talking about. You're just rambling right now, trying to make it seem as if you know what you're talking about, but you sound delusional.
Have stopped
Sorry. Okay.
cis women from competing in sports. So they're very like hard set rules. There's no
Cis woman meaning what?
cis woman,
A biological woman.
women who are born as women.
Women who were born as women. Okay.
Cis women, yes. Cisgendered is when you're born in the correct sex. So like I was born a woman.
No, but what is the correct sex or gender? Since you can identify as whatever you want to identify as now, right? What does correct mean? Woke family, let's stand up, man.
I identify as a woman, so I'm cis. If I were to identify as non-binary or anything else, I would not be cis.
If I were to identify as non-binary, I wouldn't be cis. What's a non-binary, bro? What's a non-binary? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Like, what's a non-binary? What's a non-binary?
I'm gonna ask this question and not know what cis means.
Well, cis isn't in the question.
First and foremost, you're being interviewed. Don't do that. Humble yourself, okay?
And what cis might mean to you,
The triggering starts sooner than I thought.
that doesn't mean that people watching this are going to know what cis means.
Things are a definition. Things mean things.
Things mean things. Okay, she's getting triggered already, but you didn't know. Okay.
Cisgender means one thing. That's just.
Is it possible that some people could define or perceive the word women to be different?
Well, I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about the term cisgender.
Yeah, so I think it's important that we define our terms. That's why I wanted to define it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's unfair enough for me to ask you to define it?
No, I just don't. It sounded like you didn't know what cisgender was, and I was just wondering if you didn't know that was why you thought
It's not like you didn't know it's
you should
cisgender.
ask that question.
Oh, no.
I'm starting to get a little bit emotional and triggered.
I'm really getting triggered.
Actually,
No cap.
I'll tell you why later, but I'm a legitimate gender studies scholar.
Oh, perfect then.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I don't mean to brag, but I've really outpublished almost anyone in the world in gender studies.
You do need to back a little bit. That is impressive.
Thank you. I'll show you my body of literature later. But for now,
She just got...
Look at the way you walked away.
Okay, Peter.
Okay, my man.
Peter just like, okay, yeah, I know what cis means. I'm actually the best published gender studies scholar, and nobody can even fucking
Touch me.
talk to me.
No
You're
one
just a
can touch
little
me.
college bitch, and I'll show you my body of literature later. I'm big body. What's up, college girl? You're gonna leave and get triggered later.
Real
Yeah,
talk.
let me walk to the other side.
trans women should be able to compete in women's sports. What do you think about that?
I do not think they should be able to do that.
Okay. Did
Right.
anything that they persuade you? Think about that for a second, but tell us why.
I just think the biological makeup of a man is not the same as a woman, whether they take
Word.
hormones or not.
It's not. Even when they take estrogen,
Even when they take testosterone blockers and estrogen pills, you're not a woman. You're not biological woman, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for women that want to become men. You're not a man. No matter how much testosterone you take, you're not a man.
men are still built like men. No matter how many hormones you take away, your bones, your muscle bodies, you don't have tits, you don't like it's your body is. You're a man. Even though pills are not going to take that away, we
don't
will
understand that,
kill women in all of these sports. And don't clip that up to so that it says men will kill women. Someone's going to do that. Please don't make me sound bad.
Especially if they've been competing in that sport for years. They did it originally as a man or woman, and then they switched to female, which I played a female sport growing up.
What did you play?
Lacrosse,
Word.
which is very different.
Oh, she white. She white. Lacrosse is the white people sport.
The one with the thing, the
With the
net,
stick,
people
yeah.
like that.
I think it's only the female athletes that understand that, bro. If you're not a female athlete, I think you would have agreed with all the other NPCs, bro. Like, you cannot make this up.
Which is
Yeah, they gentrified that from the Native Americans.
very different from male lacrosse. So I just think that it comes down to the biological makeup of like the
Like softball and baseball. Bitches got to throw underhand. Like they're bowling, and then men could fucking throw overhand because our arms are not going to fall off.
training used for it and everything. But I agree with a lot of the stuff that they say. I'm not like they shouldn't do it, but I just think it should be.
So you think, and I just want to make sure I get your argument right, you think that they shouldn't do it because it confers an unfair advantage on the person, even if they've met their hormone requirements, because as
This argument boils down to it hurts women's feelings when you say that men are stronger than women.
Yeah, real talk.
40-minute video, we could boil it down to that.
a biological male ages before they transition, they have certain intrinsic advantages. Height, for example, maybe in basketball. Or now that doesn't mean all men are tall, but on a Gaussian curve, it means that more men are tall than women.
Yeah.
Right, so is that, I don't want to mischaracterize,
yes.
is that,
Yes, that's what I mean.
did that persuade you?
I would say no, because we have talked about like the hormones and like the genetic makeup of a male body versus a female body, but there are changes that
Right now, the blurred lady is getting so mad. You ready for her next answer is going to be 10 times more passive aggressive. You see the stance, that crossed arm, she's loading up. She got triggered by that body of literature comment, and now she's ready for her comeback.
She's gonna lash
liberal.
out.
can happen whenever someone starts to transition that can affect their muscle density, just like their overall genetic makeup. Well, not their genetic makeup, but like their hormones and just how their body functions. So I don't know if that is like completely valid in arguing this.
What if I could provide you with evidence that even with the hormone replacement therapy, that still conferred an advantage on people born as men?
Yes. Even when you take estrogen pills, you're still a fucking man body. You built different. It is what it is.
That it wouldn't give them
It would even if they underwent hormone therapy, it still was an advantage for the trans woman to participate in sports. Would you then be for it or against it?
I would be open to revising my opinion if there's evidence presented on that.
So you would be open to revising, and would you be open to revising your opinion to go to the agree or the slightly agree?
Slightly agree, but I don't think I would go any farther than that.
Okay. So the thing that's keeping you must be some identity factor.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about that in a second. So just to be clear, I don't want to put words in your mouth. If you were to be shown evidence to your satisfaction,
Look at that. Look at trans women on
Right
estrogen
there.
and look at
She
an
would get
actual woman.
crushed.
Are you kidding me?
She
That
would get
looks like
crushed.
Sam Hyde. I'm gonna kill you. I'm going to eat you and rip your skin and eat you alive. I've taken estrogen, but I'm coming for all of the women to live.
Listen, Wolf family. This picture right here just goes to show you why trans women should never compete in women's sports. This is right here. This is not a trans woman. This is a man that is about to crush this 65-pound lady. This is probably like a 220-pound man that's going to crush this. Probably 65 pounds is an exaggeration. Let's just say, for example, she's 130 pounds. He's about to crush her. That's crazy, bro.
Olympic medals. Roar! Oh my God, bro. Imagine being Tiffany and this is full speed. Roar! I'm a woman. Fuck.
that people born as male who transition, who met the requirements of whatever lacrosse or
still have an
what-
unfair advantage.
Yeah, if you were to be shown that they would still have an unfair advantage, you would be willing to move one, possibly two, but not three. Is that what you said? Is that fair to say?
that's fair.
Okay, if you were to be shown that advantage, would you move?
Probably not.
Okay, what would it take for you to move?
Nothing, probably. I feel very strongly about this.
Nothing could make you change your mind. She's that set in stone. That's why I fucking peeped it. She's a bot from the jump. I'm telling you. Well, I mean, that's why she blurted out, because bots do not. She's gonna malfunction.
Because here's the thing. Even if you were to show me proof that people born as men who transition as women still have an unfair advantage, I would believe that full-heartedly. I wouldn't try to dispute that if I saw the facts behind that.
Yeah.
However, sports inherently have genetic advantaged players, like Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps.
Oh, with the yeah.
He didn't produce lactic acid. He had an abnormally large wingspan. He had webbed toes and webbed feet. And that was not him from competing. That's an unfair genetic advantage. We don't care about genetic advantages until it's someone transitioning from a man to a woman or a woman to a man.
I have to call you. I have to push back on that.
That was a way better point than I thought she was gonna make. I haven't heard that point yet.
I have personally never heard anybody concerned about people transitioning to a man competing in men's sports. Have you?
No, that's also another problem. Why are we still focused on trans women and not trans men as well?
Well, I think
And it's an unfair advantage.
Yeah,
it should be.
that's why.
It should be well, but that's what I'm saying. No one really cares about it being an unfair advantage, or we wouldn't like basketball, for instance.
Yeah.
If you're tall and 8, you could still make it to the NBA if you're like above 6'7". But if you're below 6 foot and phenomenal,
Yeah, that's a basketball short.
no, this is football. My shirt. This is the Seahawks.
Seahawks, man. Peter, what? You're supposed to know this.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about sports.
But here you are debating it? Uh-oh. Yo, the bot's actually, I think the bot took this little exchange. I thought she was going to get triggered. She has you right here.
Yeah. Well.
Ask me about gender studies. That's a different thing. But let's say.
Well, because it's about sports, some of the logistics you have are like that are in sports come into play here. And like I said, a lot of sports is genetic advantage. Like being born and having an aptitude for something shouldn't mean you can't do it. No one, like I said, no one wanted to Michael Phelps not swim in the Olympics.
So do you think that there should be one division and we just throw all men and women in the same division?
And that's not what I said.
No, but I'm asking you.
Yeah, so how do you separate the genetic differences?
Is that what you think?
No.
Why not?
Honestly, I just haven't given that enough thought. I do think there is, some pros to having 2 separate divisions for men and women. But like I said, honestly, I haven't.
What are the pros?
Honestly, I haven't given that enough thought.
But you've given all the woke thought.
To have like a
Sorry, Queen.
concrete stance on it that I would want to fully stand
That's
behind
fair.
because I haven't done enough research or thought on it.
That's fair.
But you know all the woke points, and you also said that you're not willing to change and move to the other side, but you don't know shit. So that's a pretty dumb argument.
So you think that there should be 2 divisions?
As of right now, before I do a lot of like thinking about it, but like I said, like I haven't put enough thought to it to give you a clear, firm stance.
Okay, so I'm kind of think through this myself. So the reason, and could be totally wrong, I'm just trying to figure this out myself. So the reason that there are 2 divisions.
Why is he thinking like this is taking a lot of brain power from a guy who has a fuck.
Well, no, I think the thing is that Peter's trying to choose how to formulate his words, and the situation when it comes to that is that it is what it is, It's actually pretty interesting. I think the thing is that I don't know why she believes that there should be 2 different leagues when women are already complaining that women are not getting paid as much as men are. You guys might as well join the same league, but we know if you join the same league as men are going to crush you every single time. But it'd be more entertaining, though. I'm not going to lie.
Fucking, yeah, I got the body of work, bro. He's got to press his forehead for her argument.
Or because there must be certain categories of things that different sexes are better at. Or there wouldn't be divisions in the first place, unless it was just like some social convention.
You're not wrong there.
So...
Damn, he's being genuine. I think a lot of other people who do this stuff like Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder, they come in with the really like patronizing, I'm better, I'm smarter than you already know. I think this guy's actually trying to learn and listen to other arguments, which I commend. It's hard to with bots.
Is it possible to abstract from that and say that reason is what confers an advantage on somebody?
No, because you can have advantages over someone who's also the same gender as you, just as a different gender does. Gender is not the only factor that provides an advantage or not. However, it's definitely one that contributes to an advantage you have.
Right. And
Because there was a trans swimmer in the Olympics. She didn't win. If trans women really have a crazy advantage on women, why didn't she sweep? Why didn't she do the
what does sweep mean?
win everything?
Like the kitchen, like mop and sweep.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Sweep?
That's what
Like,
she's talking
win
about.
all the awards.
oh, I thought you meant give her a mop and like sweep
No,
up.
why didn't she win all the awards? Why didn't she win every race? And why didn't she beat them by like seconds, which is very.
But she
which is
did
a-
get into the Olympics.
She got into the Olympics. She didn't win. And that's because she's a trained swimmer. That's because she's been training to swim for as long as everyone else has. So it makes sense she got into the Olympics.
Chat, I'm extremely tired of the trans topic, and I'm extremely tired of people. It feels like people debate trans more than there
Then the
actually
trans
are trans
people
people
try to
walking
debate
around.
themselves.
But I do think I love the topic because it really exposes people's double standards to what is woke and what's not and what's acceptable. And especially when the guy's like, How are you going to tell me I'm not transgender? It just points out all the flaws and all the faulty logic with woke people. But really, like, I'm sick of hearing about trans people. It's just not any transphobic shit. It's just like, oh my God, bro, there's like 3 of you. It's just like, do we really need to debate this every day?
She's been swimming at that time for her entire career. But like I said, she didn't sweep. She didn't have such a crazy advantage that she was performing way above the ranks of the other women.
So even if it were shown that trans women had distinct advantages, that wouldn't be enough to move you to agree.
Yeah, because like I said, cis woman could have an advantage on another cis woman. So why should I care if a trans woman has an advantage on a cis woman when a cis woman could also have an advantage on another cis woman? Like, the fact that they're trans doesn't really mean anything to me. Like I said, having a genetic advantage can and is a part of sports.
Okay, I think I understand their reasoning, but I'm not positive.
I have a question for them.
Yes.
So do you think that there could be like the women's group, the man group, and then people who are trans have their own category?
No. Men, women. Men, women. Not men, women, trans. No.
Who's the question for? Which one?
Either or.
I feel like those groups would just alienate them even more and just like put them off into a separate category because they don't belong in women or male. They are not being put properly into the groups that they identify with.
I don't know anything about sports, as you know from not even knowing what that means there, the Sea Falcons or whatever. But my question
Seahawks, it's not that hard.
Seahawks.
It's not that hard.
is then, aren't there rules? I thought there were rules against like shooting yourself up with steroids, aren't there?
Yes.
So when you shoot yourself up with steroids, that
It's
must
wrong, but a woman could shoot herself up with testosterone?
mean you
Real
have
talk.
a competitive advantage. So that's why they don't do it, right?
That shooting yourself up with steroids gives you a competitive.
Well, I would assume, or else
That's
there
why it's
wouldn't be a
outlawed.
rule against
Yeah.
it.
Yes, there is a rule against using performance enhancing steroids, but I don't think that's on the same level as hormone therapy.
No, that's not where I was going with it. So
Okay.
no, I was going with it. It's possible that there are certain things that one can do to yield a performance advantage.
Yes.
So shouldn't the idea be, and I'm just thinking through this for myself, shouldn't the idea be that we want to level the playing field to take out advantages for different people?
Correct.
I think like artificial advantages is what you're trying to say. Like, just you have.
I'm
See, why do they have to raise their hand like it's school? Can you just say, hey, let me talk now? What the hell? I thought she was waving to her friend. Speak.
sorry. I thought you were waving to somebody.
Well, first of all, Seahawks. Got a wrap.
Seahawks.
Seattle Seahawks.
They're a football
Not the
team
Falcons, yes, the
from
Seahawks.
Seattle in Washington.
Yes. Also,
And they play, who's...
God, my chat is so low attention span. All you got ADHD. It's getting spicy in a bit. She's going to get triggered soon, and you're going to be happy again. We're going to laugh at him. Let's have one little calm conversation for a bit. It's going to get there. You see that little spike in retention right here?
rival.
No, the person who throws the ball.
QB.
The QB. Who's the QB?
Maybe you want to know more about sports before you ask questions about it. No, but okay. To go off her point, performance-enhancing drugs are obviously banned. It's because they enhance your performance. However, if you have enough money, you can pay a coach to help advance your performance. You know what I mean? Like, there's specific training facilities, there's specific programs that all cost money to access. And by accessing those with money, you also gain an advantage. So it's not like these hormones.
So we
are
should
only,
get-
It's not like because these hormones are only banned because of their performance. They're also extremely harmful on people's bodies.
So we should give, if that logic holds, we should give all non-trans women extra coaching to make up for the deficiencies.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm furthering showing that there's already a discrepancy in sports. If you're rich and can pay for equipment, training facilities, a training coach, you're gonna do better than someone who can't. And I'm not saying
Like the
I'm not-
Russians in like the Russians in cycling and weightlifting.
Yeah, like most people in the Olympics. Most people in the Olympics have access to really good trainers and really good training. And if everyone in the world had access to that training, I don't think the Olympics would look the same. There'd be a lot of different people in there, but they don't because inequities, like I said, are inherently in sports. They're gonna be in sports no matter what.
Did that convince you?
I kind of forgot what you said.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
Yeah, me too.
Basically, the idea is you can't control. There are always going to be certain people who have advantages, certain people have disadvantages, and I don't want to mischaracterize your argument, but the idea is that. All right. Well, you can come to the next one. You go. All right. Well, I guess not then. Okay. So
There we go. There we go. Spicy
left.
time.
Yes, sir.
A wild Loki appeared, a wild trans person. Okay, Chad, we can breathe a little bit. Okay, ready? Some spicy back and forth. Whoa, I'm mad. I'm mad. Here we go.
Advantages, and if you're born to a poor family, you'll have disadvantages. So there are already inequities built into the system. So why worry about one more inequity? I think that's what she was saying.
No, another person appeared up.
I think the comparison between the like wealth or someone or the advantages that they have are completely different than like people getting things like hormones and stuff like genetically in them versus like being able to pay for a facility or something.
How does it make you feel if you compete against, for example,
But even if you were to get those hormones injected into you, you would have to pay for them regardless. So what's your point?
in lacrosse?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel if you compete against someone born biological male? Do you think it's like you said, I don't want to put words in your mouth. How does it make you feel?
I would think it'd be unfair, especially if that male came from playing men's lacrosse.
Can I ask you what would seem like a really stupid question, but I'm going to ask anyway?
Okay.
What's wrong with it being unfair? Life is unfair. Some people are born with like no legs.
I mean, that's true that life is unfair, but it's like it's the sport of lacrosse, specifically what I'm talking about, where there's the men's and the women's and
I think Peter's playing devil's advocate in asking that question. He knows he doesn't like transgender women being in men's sports or being in women's sports, but he's playing devil's advocate, which is smart. I respect it.
a lot of sports are very different men and women wise. And obviously it's not always fair, but it's
Look at them raising their hands like, okay, my turn, teacher.
equally as fair when it's all women versus like the other side being all men versus all men, all women versus all women, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me, but I'm not sure it makes sense to them. Hi, you just joined.
Well, I have just a quick sentence.
Okay.
They're gonna say some things. In response to that, if a girl went to a middle or high school where they didn't have a big sports fund and she played on the male lacrosse team and then transferred to a school that had a girls and boys lacrosse team and then she chose to play on the girls team after playing on the boys team, no one would care. No one would care because she's cis. They only care because she's trans. No one really cares about you playing the man
What is she talking about?
version of a sport if you're a girl and then you play the woman version later. They only care when you're trans.
Yeah.
The transness of this all is really what people get strung up.
If that were to be the case where I played a male sport and then went to a female sport, I did not pump hormones in my body to genetically get me to a better place than playing with males.
Hi. Hi. You do know that's what birth control is for, right? To pump estrogen.
But a lot of cis women are.
To pump estrogen into your body so that you're actually physically able to do things. And the point of a competitive
What? Birth control so I can nut without having a baby.
sport is
This is the thing though, Sneeko. I don't know what the benefit is for the women though, or like how it helps the women. You know.
to be genetically better than the other person. Take the Olympics, for example. There are cis women
Take the Olympics, for example.
example.
Okay, I can't. Okay, well, what?
than the other person. Take the Olympics, for example. There are cis women that are better than other cis women because they are genetically made to be that way. And putting natural hormones in your body, I hope you know that you as a cis woman also has testosterone in your body as well as estrogen and progesterone.
How do you know she's a cis woman?
Are you a cis woman? Okay.
But you assume
Did
though.
you just assume her gender?
Yeah, you assumed her gender. Don't do that in America in 2022. Apparently,
I didn't know that.
I did, I can tell.
you assume. You just assume. Don't assume. Don't assume in
As
2022.
You have like a gaydar for cis women.
I do, because I'm not a cis woman, and I know what cis women look like and act like.
And
Nah, bro, that's crazy.
am I a cis?
What? Do you see how if a straight guy said the exact same thing, it'd be problematic, but she's a
Facts.
les?
woman?
You're not a cis woman, but if you're a woman, that's okay.
No, I'm a man.
Okay, hello. What are your pronouns?
I need.
That's how you know. That's how you know society's messed up. There was literally a point in society, guys, where you as a man weren't asked what your pronouns are. Now you're literally getting asked what your pronouns are. It's crazy.
Time to think.
All right, no problem. Anyways,
And I like how he didn't. And I like how he didn't respond. That's funny. Well, he didn't respond the way one would have expected him to. So I give him mad respect for that.
sports, that is the entire purpose of competitive sports. And you just trying to justify your transphobia with the fact of being
Oh, shaming now? You want to shame him now and call him transphobic? Get up out of here, man. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. That's the problem with women in 2022, bro. When they disagree with something, their coping mechanism is shaming men. Stop the shaming. You are? Stop shaming. What are you shaming for?
Let's go!
purpose
Finally!
of competitive sports. And you just trying to justify your transphobia with the fact of being genetically better. What is it?
Who's it?
Personally, I think they should have their own league. That's just me, though.
In like
In all sports.
all sport, like a separate category, and anybody
Yeah.
can.
I think there should be like male, female, trans woman, trans man.
So are you? Yeah. Yes, of course.
I do want to say my opinion does not mean I'm transphobic at all.
What does that word even mean?
Backtracking. Okay.
I don't. What does that word even mean? What does that word mean?
What do you mean? What does that word mean?
Well, if I
What do you mean? What is that?
if she says to you, if I say to you, what is this? And she says a blah blah blah, and I say, what do you mean? They give me the definition. So like, what is the definition of transphobia?
Transphobia is
Means you're scared of them like spooky spiders. Arachnophobia is when you're scared of spiders. Transphobia is when you don't agree that you should be able to go fucking destroy women in sports. I'm not scared of trans
Exactly.
people, and neither is this dude right here with the bomber jacket on. Phobia means like, oh, scary spider. Who the fuck is trans people? Trans people. It just makes no sense.
Literally.
you exclude trans people. Transphobia is when you do not believe that trans people are really the identity they identify with. Transphobia is hatred towards trans people.
Is hatred towards people, and when you are bots all speak like this. It's like an algorithm.
Identify with.
Identify with
Transphobia is hatred towards trans people.
hatred towards trans people.
Transphobia is prejudice against trans people. That's what transphobia is. And thinking that trans athletes should not compete with regular athletes in their own separate league is transphobic.
Okay, so do you need?
Okay, the word regular is triggering, but the word cis is the
It's
same
not.
as regular.
Need all three of those criteria
No,
to be met?
No, you don't. No,
You need
don't.
one.
Yes.
So if I believe, I just want to make sure because you used the term and it's very important that we're all on the same page. So if I believe that a person who was born a man who has not had bottom surgery, who got arrested, should go into a woman's prison, who should not go into a woman's prison, am I a transphobe?
That is a completely different question. And
No.
I don't even know your reason.
But it's excluding though.
No, same shit as sports.
I don't even know your reason for that.
Well, it's exclude. So I'm trying to figure out what the word transphobe means.
By asking me a completely hypothetical question when I
No, by
gave
asking
your
you.
definition.
Well, you gave me a definition, but it meets the first one, so that would seem under your definition as
Okay.
transphobic. You have a definition. Okay,
No,
hold
not
on,
using
hold
a
on.
Google
Hold on.
definition. Hold on.
Why is she getting triggered by her voice? Come on, man. Stop getting triggered. Get up out of your feelings, shorty.
This pisses me off.
Do you see how?
It's pissing you off because it's not going in the way you wanted it to go, right? Oh my God, it's pissing me off. Get out of your feelings, man.
Okay, now she's pissed off. You see how easy it is to be transphobic? This guy was being respectful the whole time. He was actually trying to listen to these people. I'm getting bored in here by the hearing blah, 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 blah. He's actually there, like, stressing, really trying to hear them out, and already he's transphobic.
We're not using a Google definition.
You have a definition? Okay,
We're
hold
not
on,
using
hold
a
on.
Google definition.
Period. I'm pissed off now.
Hold on. This pisses me off. We're not using a Google definition.
go.
Hold on. We're not using a Google definition to describe transphobia because this is exactly.
So, you're not using a Google. What the fuck definition did you use then? What are you talking about? Okay, chill. Relax. Why are you so mature? If you're a real man, be stoic. Okay, fine. Let's listen to these people, bro. Okay.
Like when you say white people can't be racist and they pull the definition of racism and they're like, oh no, but here it says racism is blah, 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 blah. Google definition can literally not define something that you.
So why don't you define it the way you believe is best? If you don't want to go off of Google definition.
You literally have spent years studying because you're a gender studies major, right?
Look at she tries to shame him. Get up out of here, man.
Not a major, no.
Not a major.
I'm one of the world's foremost experts in
gender studies.
not leading. I'm in the top 10.
Okay, not leading then.
Flex on these hoes, man. Top 10. Let's go.
You're not a leading world gender studies, just a gender studies.
You're just a gender studies. Now I'm gonna belittle you. Now I'm pissed off. Cause literally.
But that proves that you've literally studied
Literally.
this. Like this is a field that can be studied.
Not only have I studied it, I've
Yes, I know.
outpublished virtually everybody in my field
Yeah,
in a
but not
10-month
leading.
period.
Yeah, but
True,
not
not
leading.
that's true. That's a fact. That's in fact.
So,
you.
but hold on. But
He's asking for what you think it is, because you're the one who fucking.
She doesn't. That's exactly my point. You don't want to go off of Google definitions, but when you are asked to define it, you don't want to define it. Come on, man.
Started throwing that word around.
that's just you.
Also, iron your shirt. Like, ugh. You see that? Don't walk around with this. Look at that garbage ass shirt. Disgusting. Ew. Your drip sucks.
So
No wonder you're trans. I'm sorry.
you've spent a lot of your lifetime studying this field. Yes.
No, about 3 years.
Okay, but you spent multiple years studying this field.
Yes.
Would you say it's a complex field?
Yes and no.
So you publish multiple pieces of literature on it. Obviously, it's not a one done thing. If I could just go onto Google and Google does a bunch of different definitions.
If I could just literally,
Then what's the point of studying something? The point of studying something is because it's nuanced, because it's rooted in a lot of history. Google Translate, Webster Dictionary is.
Is it falsifiable?
That's not my point right now. That's not my point right now. My point right now is that you cannot take
Google definitions. Just use your feelings.
a cumulative
Exactly.
history of a nuanced topic and put it into one sentence in Webster Dictionary.
Accumulate thing of oral history and put it into Webster Dictionary, please. Stop. Like, what are you talking about right now? What are you saying?
Google Dictionary, I thought.
Google uses Webster.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm gonna speak to these two directly.
Okay.
When I called you a transphobe, I meant it. And the reason
Is she doing
When I call you a
poem
transphobe,
now?
I
I'm
meant
saying
it.
that is because there's an underlying bias towards trans people that you really need to work on. And I'm not saying
What is that?
What is an underlying bias?
Yeah, what do you
You have an underlying bias towards trans people. He doesn't have to work on nothing. What are you talking about, bro?
mean by that?
I mean exactly what I said, that she has an underlying bias. It's
How? What? Just you can't just say. What are you talking about?
not
Some people would rather just try to come across as smart when they don't even know what they're saying, bro. You can't make this up.
very difficult to understand.
Okay, pretend I'm stupid. What does it mean? Like, so when I say I have when someone says they have an underlying bias, that could mean a subconscious bias. It could mean that they don't act out. Like, what does that mean?
Okay. I thought I was
This is a perfect example of why college is a scam. Don't
What's
send
up?
your kids there, and if you're thinking about going to college, don't.
supposed to pretend that you're stupid. Okay, here we
In
go.
other words, explain it in a way that is crystal clear so that anybody watching this will understand.
Okay.
Because we have people watching this of all ages, all everything, who are trying to figure this out for themselves.
Wait,
All right.
I have a question. What the fuck is the point of this?
Like, what is the goal of this?
What the fuck is it? Now I'm pissed off. Now I'm cursing. It's to have a conversation. It's to try to hear the point of view. You just want to throw in insults. You just want to be pissed off and mad and live in an emotional place. He's going just based off of your arguments, and you can't even handle it. College is a scam.
What is the goal of what?
Yeah, what's the goal of this? Of us talking? Like, what is your goal in doing all of this?
Well, my goal is to figure out if the lines you're on are the lines that you should be on the basis of the.
Why is she standing like that? Have you ever stood like this? This is a bot stance right now. She was holding that for 5 seconds. Watch her, watch her, watch her, watch her, watch her. When have you ever been in a conversation and just did this and held it? Ready, ready, ready? Hold on. I want to do it too.
To figure out if the lines you're on are the lines that you should be on the basis of the reasons you have.
So you don't even care about, like, adding to the narrative, understanding social consciousness, or, like, social feelings towards this question. You just want to know if we get the facts straight enough to be on the correct line.
No, it has nothing to do with fact. Well, it's a little to do with fact, but it doesn't really have to do with facts. It has to do with reasoning.
So you're just curious on individual reasoning.
I'm curious to know. So let's say, for example, I was standing here in the neutral, and I heard these reasons, and I heard this reasons, and let's just say, to the best extent possible, I'm sincere, I'm honest, I try to think for myself, I'm not really well-read, but I'm a little well-read. I listen to what you have to say, I listen to what they have to say. Where should I go? I have no dog in the fight. I'm trying to figure out what's true.
Us trying to convince each other, like, what is your goal? Because right now, because I don't know what you're adding to, like, the social.
Absolutely nothing. I'm adding nothing.
So then why are you, like, because, like, this question.
This is why college is a scam. You see these goofy bots like raising it, bro. She's literally right next to you. Just wait for her to finish speaking. They don't know how to communicate in real life. They only know how to talk in a classroom.
It just opens up the floor for, like.
That's a fact. Like, you could tell if they knew how to communicate in real life, based off of their interactions, they wouldn't be getting so triggered, right? It's ridiculous, bro.
Transphobic people to spread transphobic rhetoric. So, like, why would you do that? Like, what is the point of this? Why would you risk adding transphobia to the world when, like, you just, like, didn't need to?
So do you think these questions are better off not talked about?
No,
Is transphobia not in the world already? Please, like, you cannot make this up. Is transphobia not in the world already? Like, what are you talking about?
They should be better facilitated.
How could they better be facilitated than exactly what he's doing? He's being so rational, so calm, being genuine. You're raising your voice. You're getting pissed off. You're cursing. He's there just trying to figure it out and get the most blanket arguments, and you're getting triggered.
What could I do to facilitate the question better?
Well, have a clearer goal in mind. Like I've asked you, like, what's your goal? Your goal is just nothing. Like, no one's going to convince a transphobic person that trans women should be able to compete in sports. If they were going to be convinced of that, they should have already been convinced by that. It's been a big topic. Clearly, I'm not going to change my mind because I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, like.
So why did you come on here? You're mad at the question. Why the fuck did you stand here?
You're transphobic real quick. Like, you don't have a good goal.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you convinced that her definition of transphobia is, like, to say that the exclusion thing was the thing that got me?
Like, if her definition of transphobia is correct?
No, it can be anything anybody wants it to be. It can be a pastrami sandwiches if someone wants it to be.
I feel like.
Can you
rephrase your question?
Yeah, so she gave 3 criteria.
It could be a pastrami sandwich if someone wanted it to be.
Anybody
Did you literally just say that? Now I'm going to be
can
mad.
define anything the way they want to define it.
Anyone could.
No.
They can't define anything they
You
want
can't
to.
just define it as a pastrami sandwich. That's a joke. Like, that's literally a joke. Like, I'm sorry, that's a joke.
So is a joke when it comes to being transphobic. So is a joke when it comes to being trans. Real talk.
Okay, why? But why is me declaring myself as a woman, like, what's the difference? Your shit probably looks like a pastrami sandwich down there. I don't get what the joke is.
anybody can define anything the way they want it. There's no.
No, that's not how words work. Words have meaning.
But
Words have meaning. But then you can declare my truth and my identity.
If words have meaning, then what's the definition? That's a word, or those are words, and they have meanings. But when he tried to bring up the Webster Dictionary version, he tried to display it like he didn't know what he was talking about. Come on, let's not make this up.
For your gender?
tried to look it up in Google, and you told her that wasn't
Exactly.
how to adjudicate the meanings of words.
Did I not just say that? Come on, family, let's get it.
My point in that was that
My point in that-
definitions
I said something.
cannot adequately describe and explain such a nuanced topic. I didn't say it can't be defined. I just said that Google definitions wasn't gonna have a.
Who does give the right definition then? Which definition is correct? How can we?
Hold on. And I don't think there's ever the most concrete definitions when it comes to nuanced topics. However, you can't just be defining words.
However,
And you know that first.
But you can't define words, but who declares? You could declare your gender, but not words? Why?
There, colloquially, things mean things. And colloquially, we all know what that shit means. You cannot describe it as
Colloquially?
a sandwich. There is very clear parameters that you can work within. You might disagree on specific nuances, but the overall, like, you can't just describe anything as anything. Words have meaning for a reason.
Like man and woman.
Yeah, trans women are women.
Oh!
Like, I don't. See, you keep trying to get people like caught up. What is your point? Like, what is your point?
Why are you getting mad that your logic
what is your
makes no
point?
sense?
What is your
Like, this is
point?
kind of a joke. Because you could have said,
I know your point. You just want to try to catch us in a contradiction, and you have literally no reason
I'm triggered that you caught me making no sense. This is bad because now you're exposing how my logic is faulty.
to be doing this whatsoever.
Yeah.
You're trying to prove a gotcha. Ooh, you have no idea what you're talking about, silly liberals and your silly trans people.
Yeah. It worked. That's why you blurred your face out.
Instead of just not being a dick.
How is he being a dick? You were saying he was phobic. You were saying he was saying, what the fuck are these questions? I'm pissed off. He was just holding a mic. Chat, if he's a dick, oh my, what am I? What am I? I'm a trunk. Jesus.
I know you guys are like,
Look at him sticking to the plan, just running back and forth with the mic. He's like, oh, whoa, this is good content.
what's the point of it? My point for coming over here and participating in this is because I'm very open-minded and I like hearing other people's points of views, and I'm not very I don't just shut people down when they have an opinion and start calling them names. I'm not here to promote transphobia at all. That does not say, are you trans?
Yo, W 5% over here. It used to be 8%. Now my female audience is 5%. But these are not, I'm trying not to circle him, but two white footballers right here.
It's going to eventually end up going down and going back up. Trust and believe me, Sneak. I feel where you're coming from, bro.
It's always the threes that are on this side.
Phobic or not. In no way am I transphobic. I'm just stating my opinion, trying to have an equally conversation of a debate where we can just say how we feel.
They've been so rational the whole time. Look at this fucking bitch raising her hand again like it's a classroom. Let her finish. Ugh.
And move on with our lives. I don't think anyone should be attacking anyone.
Who do you think, Chat, who do you think is more likely to have W for them and L for the trans people? Who's more likely to have a boyfriend and be in a happy relationship? The W's or the L's?
The W's for sure.
More likely to be in a happy relationship with a man.
Did you agree with what she said?
Oh, absolutely.
You want to add or?
They're going to be in a happier relationship because they know their roles. They know how society is supposed to be functioning. You know.
No, that's okay too.
No, but I think people's emotions get really heightened during topics like this. That's all.
Yeah.
Just because emotions are heightened doesn't mean points shouldn't be listened to, because I see both of you, none of
Say it louder for the trans in the back.
you are listening to our points. You're turning to each other, you're whispering, you're laughing, and I see both of you. Don't make that face, because I literally see what you're doing. I'm not an idiot. And second of all,
You are an idiot. And also, look how you're attacking, and they've just been like, I just want to talk. I just want to have a conversation. Like, they come to attack. Woke people are the worst at having civil discussion. They're incapable of it. They're told that they're supposed to listen just based off their first emotion. They're told that they can't be wrong. Everyone else is phobic. Everybody else is racist.
Facts.
I'm good. I'm right. And they're incapable of even talking with
You notice in situations like this, people like this, they tend to use shaming as their coping mechanism, you know? And it's sad. It's really sad.
Without getting triggered. This is why college is a scam.
Well, I can probably just describe transphobia because
Do you not agree with her definition?
Oh, I completely agree. I'm just adding to it. So, transphobia is systemic. There is a system set in place to put trans people down, to kill them, to put them in prison, and to completely eradicate them.
Period.
And in your agreeing or in your disagreement with trans women not being able to compete in
Someone said, why are the ugly ones the most angry? Because they're ugly. And so instead of being ugly, instead of accepting and trying to improve, they just pick trans, they pick woke, and they pick the moral right. Men are bad bitches are evil and programmed and they're phobic. Ugly bitches need to be feminists. Ugly bitches need to be trans and woke instead of just being ugly. That's why they're so angry. Because deep down, it's not really about the system, the systemic problems. They're just upset with their life. They're not in happy relationships. They're annoying to be around. They don't have a personality besides their beliefs that are really just fucking simple and everybody else in college has. And they're jealous of the fact that these bad bitches on the other side, those blonde girls, are probably in happy relationships. They don't get triggered. They don't have time to do that. They're just happy and smiling. They probably got good boyfriends.
women's sports is boosting that systemic idealism. And when I say that you're a transphobe, that's something in yourself that you do need to work on because that
Can you define that?
What is a transphobe?
What, underline?
No, that I got from what you said. I thought your explanation was excellent. A transphobe, because I got
what's
her
a transphobe?
definition. What's yours?
Transphobe is what I said. So transphobe is someone that is adding to a system to put other trans individuals down, whether it be conscious or unconscious. There's some sort of bias that you definitely do need to work through and actually listen to something we're saying. It doesn't matter.
Can you stop using definition, or can you stop using the same word in the definition? He asked you to define transphobe or transphobic. Don't use trans and transphobic. Make it actually make sense.
If we're getting heightened in emotion because we're passionate about something, that should make you want to listen more, and it shouldn't make you
No, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. The fact that you can't handle your emotions, I should just listen more to your garbage.
smirk and act like, oh my goodness, you contradicted yourself, la 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 la.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So you strongly agree. You're cheating, you're off the line, but that's okay. You're strongly agree, and you're strongly agree. What would it take you to move to the agree line?
Nothing.
Let me go for. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 because I haven't. Yeah.
You asked me this already, and I told you nothing.
Okay.
You literally?
What would it take you to
asked
move
me
to the
this,
agree
and I
line?
told you nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. Told you.
Absolutely nothing. Would you say absolutely nothing or
Yeah,
nothing?
absolutely nothing.
I just said what I had to say. Okay.
That's why they blurred out their faces.
I would be willing to.
Because they walked away or they probably emailed afterwards and realized they sounded stupid. These people have no conviction. They'll get in and be emotional and say that you need to learn from me, but they can't even finish a video without requesting their face be blurred. No, like, they just act based on emotion. And when you do afterwards, when you calm down, you realize how dumb you sounded.
Revise my opinion with, new information that comes out, new studies, new statistics saying if there is actually a true advantage that trans women have over cis women in sports. But as of right now, there's nothing that is prominent, like as in what we know, that would change my position right now.
Literally?
Why do you think you should be the one to facilitate this conversation when you don't even care about sports?
I know nothing about
Yeah,
sports.
so you don't care about sports. So
That's such a stupid question. She's just mad now. The overall debate is not about sports. It's about who should compete in sports. You don't even know who the Seahawks are to decide and to know that men are stronger than women. That's a dumb argument you just made.
why?
Real talk.
Well,
You're not ready
that's
for that.
not
Do you
entirely
do
true.
you care about trans women and trans
Well, wait a
women's
second.
rights?
Let me answer your question first. I actually happen to know a lot about one sport, but it's a very fringe sport.
But you don't care about sports. Sports.
Correct. I don't care about any sports with a
Literally sports.
ball.
Do you care about trans women?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Do you care about trans women and trans women issues? And
Like,
protecting
give me
trans-
any. Like,
and-
what do you mean?
And protecting trans women. What do you mean? What do I mean? It's a straightforward question. Do you?
That's actually not a straightforward.
You're not the
do
you're not
you
the person
care
that's being
about trans women.
You're not the
Do
interviewer.
you care about the issues they face? Do you care about being a good ally to trans women? Do you care about trans women?
I was up with you until you used the word ally. I care about. So the answer to the first question is yes, and the answer
But
to
you're
the
not an ally
second
to
question,
trans women.
it depends what you mean.
It depends on what I mean by ally.
Yes.
What do you think ally means? As someone who's I'm not a leading
Someone who's fighting in a war together.
top, so maybe you don't know what ally means, but someone in the field. What do you think ally means?
So let me just say, often we use words that we think we know what other people
I know
mean
what
by
the
that.
word ally means. I'm asking
Right,
ally
right.
because allies, an easy word to understand. Ally means
At your biblical age, are you
55.
really biblical? Are you telling
Okay, you see how they're just insulting right now? Your biblical age, that's all they got. Bitch, your shirt needs ironing. You're ugly. You're wearing a beanie in the summer and a hat. You got no drip. No guy wants
At your biblical age, what does that have to do with anything, bro?
you. You're trans because you're ugly. Fuck out of here.
What do you mean biblical?
it means you're older than the Bible? Do you really not know what ally?
Not that old.
Do you really not know what ally?
Biblical. All right,
It
bro.
depends what you mean. If
She just tweeted at him in real life. She was loading that up when they were in that conversation. I'm gonna get him with that. At your biblical age, I'm being passive aggressive. Take your fucking beanie off, bitch.
you mean different people mean different things by ally.
Okay, then come back to me.
Like it doesn't mean somebody
I'm
willing
asking
to.
you,
Yeah.
I'm asking you, what do you think? Like, what's your definition of ally?
Okay,
What?
I'm more than happy to, yes, I will
Answer my
answer that
question.
question. We'll go back to the claim. You have my word. I will answer that question. So I'm just going to wrap up. You have my word. So you guys, there's nothing to get you to change your mind, and absolutely nothing. I want to make sure clear. Is there anything that would get you two to move to the slightly, either to the strongly disagree or to the slightly disagree? Like, is there any piece of evidence that you would have to hear or reason or argument?
I think I would definitely be open to changing my opinion or even just hearing other people out.
W5% right now. She's being understanding. She's not being a cunt. Looking nice and just being a nice girl.
Real
So
talk.
what would it look like for you to move to, you have to play by the rules of the game, which means you have to stand on a line. Yeah. So what would it take for you to move to the slightly disagree? Evidence, reason, data, like what would that look like?
I'm not sure, but I would like to note that I think for a trans woman to compete in women's sports, she has a biological advantage. And then for a trans man to compete in men's sports, she has a biological disadvantage. So I'm just want to make that point that I do think that's something.
I mean, they are like very blueprint snow buddies right here, head to toe in H&M with the Starbucks,
Real talk.
going right to class. The blonde, the da 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 da. She plays lacrosse. She's very waspy.
Thing to consider. And
They don't fuck with me. These bitches never liked me. Sorry, I'm saying W5%. I know damn well she would never fuck with me.
I don't agree
I don't. You know what? We got nothing to talk about. Me and her.
with
Real talk.
attacking people personally, whether it's that he's old or that I'm sitting here smiling. I don't think that anything to do with this conversation has to do with how you treat other people. And if you're going to sit here and say you accept all people, then you need to sit here and accept all people.
I did not say I accept all people. I don't accept bigots. I don't accept race.
See how dumb this is? She's like,
I don't accept bigots. I don't accept racists, but you want people to accept trans people? You don't accept all people, but you want us to accept trans people. What are trans people, bro?
victimizing herself by saying no one
Come on, man. You want us to... Come on, man.
accepts me, and then also saying I don't accept all people.
Get up out of here, man.
Yeah, old people like you because you're an ass. I accept older people who
You're
are.
an ass? Like, what? Then leave the fucking game, dummy. Why are you standing on the line participating and all you got is insults? All you got is like basic low-level tweets that get hidden anyway. You're just basically like a ratio NBA YoungBoy trans version in real life.
Open-minded like my parents per se, who are actually older than you. And I accept people who are willing to actually open their minds up.
Yo, thanks a lot, Trevor. Trevor in the chat right now. He just gave $100. After this, you should watch If I Were the Devil by Paul Harvey. It was made in 1965 and it's all true. It's only 3 minutes long. Put in my Discord link in the description. That's where I put all my reaction videos. I got a lot more reaction videos for today. So put it there and I'll click it maybe tomorrow or maybe later today. We'll see.
I'm very open-minded. Okay.
So you're accepting of people who are willing to open their minds, but yet you are not willing to open your mind.
Yeah,
for
that's
evidence
Exactly.
to take you to
the
book.
biggest hypocrisy in the woke movement is that they are victimizing themselves, saying that no one accepts me, and then also are the least accepting people. They're the most inclusive while complaining. They're the most exclusive while complaining about how there's no inclusivity. I hate that, bro. I hate that
The
shit.
agree line.
I'm not willing to open my mind to be a bigoted piece of shit. No.
See, they think they're right because anyone who disagrees with them is a bigoted piece of shit, is an ass, is biblical.
Yep.
Anyone who does not have the same opinion as you is a bigoted.
Oh, word.
In women's sports has transphobic beliefs. Point blank, period.
Okay.
Trans women,
Chat, WL, should trans women be able to compete in women's sports? W means yes, L means no. You're all fucking transphobic bigots, according to this bitch, standing with their guitar. WL, should trans women compete in women's sports?
are women. Therefore, they compete in women's sports. Like, that's really just like the end of conversation. Like, there's really no like, oh,
See, they don't want to listen. They don't want to have any conversation. They're stuck in their ways. You know what? And you see all these L's? You see all these L's? This bitch took an L because she couldn't even fucking put her face in it.
she couldn't
They
even-
think they're so right. They're saying that anybody who disagrees with them is a bigoted piece of shit, and they can't even put their fucking face in it.
Exactly.
No, they cannot speak with conviction. They're fraud.
They can't speak with conviction because they're too emotional. When you can't speak with conviction because you're too emotional, that just goes to show who you truly are. You know? And it is what it is. It is what it is.
Frauds. If you're gonna yell and have insults the whole time, and then
You better be ready to back it up. You better be ready to back it up without getting emotional.
to even put your face in it. Shut the fuck up. And everyone here saying L, chat, you know that all of you are transphobic? Every single one of you is transphobic. You're all bigoted pieces of shit. You're all assholes, just like me. What's up, assholes? Hey, what's up, my bigots? What's up, my biggers? Shut up.
like, you know, like the boys and then the girls and the testosterone. No, like it's all based in transphobia. So it's not about like me believing in facts. It's not about me listening to the research. It's literally just called like I'm saying this line because I refuse to be transphobic. Also, you never answered my question.
See how dumb they are? They have their opinions because they just don't want to be called transphobic. That's as far as the argument goes.
I promise you I will.
Look at all the L's in the chat. Goofy censored bitches. Look how dumb you sound. Yelling insults the whole time. Too pussy to put your face in. I can still roast you anyway. You're a 3. You're a 4. You're not in happy relationships, obviously because of the way you sound. And everyone, there's 10,000, 11,000 people watching the stream right now on a Saturday night. All of them are saying L to your arguments. How the fuck you feel?
But at the
answer
end,
it.
I
Incel.
promise you have my word, but I just
Literally.
because if I do this, we're going to wrap it up. I promise you, the moment this is over, you have my word.
I want to talk to you about
This is crazy.
biology.
Who them?
Yes, these two.
I want to say one thing real quick, guys. Look at how one argument literally caused so many people to get emotional. Literally. Look how one word literally caused somebody to get so many people to get very emotional.
The one that's on her phone and not actually paying attention to me because she doesn't respect me.
You were calling him transphobic, and now you're mad at respect. You see how they make absolutely no
Exactly.
sense? Yeah, because you're on your phone, you don't respect me. You were just insulting them. Shut the fuck
Go
up.
through it.
So, no, because I deserve to be respected.
No, you don't. You do not deserve respect. You've been yelling insults the whole time. This is another
And you got to
biggest
earn
contradiction
respect.
in the woke movement.
And you got to earn respect.
They demand respect without thinking they have to earn it.
Real talk.
They can be
You got to earn respect. Talking about I deserve respect. Get up out of here. That's entitlement. That's the problem. Entitled.
garbage people, yell at insults, say like NBA YoungBoy Twitter account level insults. You're biblically old. Shut up. And then
Get up out of here, man. Get up out of here with the insults. Get up out of here with the disrespect. And then you want to be respected. Life doesn't work like that, sweetheart. For two people that literally couldn't even show their face in the camera, bro. Get up out of here.
when you don't want to listen to them, you're not even respecting me. You're transphobic. You were just
Get
saying
up outta
ass, bigoted piece of shit. You're fat. You have an ugly shirt. You're wearing a beanie in the summer. You got zero drip. You're trans because you're ugly. And you've just been insulting the whole time and demand respect. This is the woke brainwashing. They feel like they deserve respect and they don't have to earn it. You have
Real
to
talk.
earn respect.
Yeah, facts.
Simple facts that Gen Z does not understand, and most woke people will never get through their fucking trans skull. Fuck.
You got to earn that
Paid
shit.
attention to.
Excuse my
No,
language.
I will not take that blatant disrespect. Absolutely not. You want to bring up biology, right? I hope you know there's more than just XX and XY chromosome variations. There are XXXY, there are XXY, and actually a black woman.
Now you want to bring race into it. But let's talk about XXY and XXXY. How many of those other variations survive onto the next level and actually are born?
Another wild trans appeared.
Who is biologically female.
Yo, I feel bad for her right here. She's like, oh God, this is this is my side?
Has XXXY chromosomes and then was banned from playing sports in the women's category. Although
Which sport?
it was track and field. Although she is a cisgender woman born with anatomically female bodily organs, she was said that there was a biological advantage. So are you saying that anyone born with a different chromosomal variation, even though they are cis, are not allowed to compete in sports either?
I'm going to ask you.
Wait, no, go to the Jasmine with the next question.
Oh, wait, wait a second.
She asked
Well, where did you come from? Who are you? Wait a second. Who are you? Where did you come from? Where did the woman who was right there stand? Where did she go?
She had to go. Go answer the question. I'm next.
Oh, we are?
That's so convenient.
It is. Well, talk to your school. Talk to your school. They're making us leave. Talk to her right there.
I actually don't want this to come back. So
Okay.
I will not be speaking
All right.
about this. Because like I said, this is a joke. You don't care about trans women.
Okay, we're
This is a joke, but this bitch sat here for 40 minutes.
being asked to wrap up. We have to wrap up. We have to wrap up.
I can just keep talking a little bit further.
Okay, just keep on talking then. No one wants to listen to you. I can just keep talking. Who the fuck cares what you think?
You can. I can't. This is your. I didn't want this to end. This is the boss.
Taken off, please.
This is the boss.
And
She's gonna still stand on the line. No one cares about you. Woke
Gotta make
people,
this
man.
up.
They're funny, man. Hey, yo, you funny, yo. Yeah, I know I'm calling you ugly and shit like that. No. I'm supposed to like have higher level, more stoic, just go at their arguments. Okay, fine. But the bottom line is like, you guys are goofy. You're goofy. I demand respect. Respect has to be earned. You don't just get it. You can't just be insulting. You can't just stand there with a wrinkly ass shirt and expect people to love you because you're trans. You gotta earn it. Gen Z woke people think that by being a minority, they, them, trans, with identity politics, that they could just earn respect because of how much of a fucking oppressed minority they are.
That's not how it works, unfortunately.